There we go. Woohoo! How is everybody doing? We are live. I'm going to turn this music down a little bit. Hope everybody is having a very, very great and lovely Saturday evening, night, afternoon, wherever you are. Might be Sunday where you are. Not sure where everyone's tuning in from, so wherever you're at, I hope you're having a good time. We're going to burn a little Palo Santo right here. Smudge the area up a little bit with a little bit of this. We don't play around. We break out the torch. I am so excited to do readings tonight. I am in a good mood. Earlier today, I had to cancel a reading from earlier because I was dealing with some pain issues and stuff, and I had to lay down and rest. But then I got up and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go do this. Like, I'm not going to not do it today because it's something I wanted to do. It's something I had planned to do. And I wasn't going to let my pain and everything else get the better of me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this. So I'm doing this. I'm running some crazy specials and deals on my reading subscription services and different readings. Also going to be doing in live starting this week, starting on Monday. I'm going to be doing lives every day, and anyone who participates in a live as far as getting a paid reading, excuse me, I will put their name. And the reason I'm doing paid readings, it's easier for me to track and know who actually done this and like who was there versus just to say if like someone showed up. So if you pay for a reading and you get a reading from me for the next week, you're going to be entered in to a drawing, and at the end of the week, I'm going to pull a couple of names, and they're going to win some year subscriptions of different tiers of the reading subscription service. So, and if you decide to pick up the services yourself before then and you happen to win, you can gift this over to someone else. You can carry it over and have 2 years of the service if you want. And, you've got that. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm running some really big deals and specials on the subscription service though, and I just want to let people know like the reason why I'm doing it is I'm really wanting to work on the production level and get things like up to the next level. Get some things upgraded with the computer, with monitors, with cameras, with some different other equipment. Get some things taken care of. Lighting for sure, because like this is crazy. This bugs me. This like white haze that's over my head because of the overhead lighting in here. It's just awful. And unfortunately, the camera settings for StreamYard aren't the greatest, or I just haven't figured them out yet, which is probably more likely the issue. But yeah, so like I have a lot of things I'm wanting to do. There's a lot of things in the works. I'm working on bringing the podcast back. That's going to be coming back really soon. We've got some guests coming up with it. I've got some people already asking about being on the podcast. So we're going to be working on that. I've got some other things I'm going to be working on, some different ideas. So just pay attention. There's a lot of things I'm going to be doing over the next few months. The other day, I was actually here. Let me pull these cards out, and I will show everyone this. So, like, if you're watching now live, or if you catch us later, going through this deck of cards. There we go. There's one of them. So it's these two. So the other day, I was pulling a card, and I was just pulling it in reference to what's going on in my life, what was going on, and kind of a general reference of the time frame, the season, everything. It was right after the spring equinox. Hold on for a second. I have got something in my eye bugging me. It was a little eyelash. Ugh, feels like it's still there bugging me. Even though I saw an eyelash. Okay, so now that I'm done dealing with that little on-air emergency, so what I was looking at, and hold on, I gotta share some stuff around. I'm not doing my job, and I'm the only person that can do this. Let me do something here real quick. I need to share this around so people actually know I'm live. Like only my page and my Facebook page have it. Yeah, I hate when I do that. I gotta go copy this link though. All right, I got what I need now. All right. So let me get this shared out so people know that I'm live. Oh, come on. There we go. That's what I need. Sorry, folks. I gotta do this kind of stuff as part of the job. I need to hire an assistant. I need to make enough money to hire an assistant. Unless some assistant wants to work for free or for like tarot cards, I'll do readings. Okay. There we go. Now I've got it shared out where I need to. I'm going to share it one other place though. There we go. Okay, so I am back now. So, all right, back to what I was talking about before I got distracted by forgetting that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Behind the scenes. I get in front of the camera and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to talk to stuff. Talk to people. Talk to stuff. Well, I am talking to a camera, so. And a monitor in front of me. So, I go ahead and I decide I'm going to pull a couple cards out of my spellcasting oracle deck. I love this deck, especially for like a single card pull. And that's what I was intending to do, is a single card pull, just as some guidance going into this month, going into this season, coming back into starting up the business again after taking some time down, dealing with some personal issues, dealing with helping some friends deal with the passing of loved ones and stuff. It just, I got away from doing a lot of this because I just got occupied with other stuff. And so now in spring, it's that season of coming back to things and like really getting, like starting things up again. And so I pulled two cards. Well, I went to pull one, but two cards came out simultaneously together. First card that came out was fertility. And of course, I'm like, oh, hey, fertility, great. What am I going to talk about on fertility? Like, I'm not like looking to have children. I'm 45 years old. I'm too old to have kids. I would have loved to have kids, but at this point in time, I've got another path that I'm on, and I know children isn't necessarily part of it. At least my own children. Let me clarify that. At least my own children. Um, I've dated single mothers and stuff, and I have no problems with that. Um, but I got to thinking, okay, well, it's more fertility tied into the season and what fertility means for this time of year. With spring, the ground is fertile. This is the time that we're planting crops. This is the time that animals are breeding and stuff because everything's fertile. This is the season of fertility. We got Easter coming up, which, if you really go back to the ancient pagan roots, is it's a celebration of pagan fertility rites. A lot of the symbols are all pagan symbols. The egg, the rabbit, they are fertility symbols. It goes back to the goddess Ishtar, which is where Easter comes from. But this is the season of fertility. So that's we got that going on. So this card came out for that. And so during that season, when the ground's fertile and everything, this is when you're planting your seeds and you're laying the groundwork for the harvest. Like, you have to do this before you can get to the harvest. You can't do anything else before you lay the groundwork and you plant the seeds. You got to prepare the soil, you got to get it fertile, and then you plant the seeds, and then you have to water the seeds and take care of them to let them grow. So that's really what I got coming out of this fertility card. And then the second card that came along with it was blessings, which is what this was telling me is, as you are working that ground, as you're laying the groundwork, as you're doing the things to build that fertile base for the harvest to come, these blessings are going to come. And the blessings aren't just in the harvest. They're in the whole process of everything it takes to make this come to pass. The journey of, taking the crop from seed, and even before seed, of preparing the soil for the seed, and then planting the seed, waiting for the seed to germinate, making sure it's got enough moisture in the soil so that it'll do those things, taking care of it, giving it life, helping it grow, protecting it, making sure that no other invasive plants are coming in to take over and stuff. And that can play into those invasive thoughts coming in, telling you, why are you doing this? You're not good enough. You'll never be successful. You'll never amount to anything. You'll never be good. Those are like those weeds that come in on those crops, and you got to go and you got to pull those thoughts out. You got to pull those weeds out. You got to take those things out. You got to get rid of that crap. You got to get rid of that crud. And as you do that, that's part of the blessings, is because you're clearing those things out of your energy. You're clearing those things out of your thoughts. You're clearing those things out of your aura. You're being able to move forward without those things. And as you're doing this, more and more blessings are just going to start to flow, and it's just going to build up until the harvest, where the abundance is going to come. So those were the cards that I got off of a reading that I was doing the other day, focused in and on what is going on with this season, with this time of year, and with just where focus needs to be. And so it really needs to be in on making sure that ground is taken care of, making sure everything is laid out, that the soil is prepared, that you've given it the right nutrients and the right minerals, so that when you put the seed in there, that it's got the best possible conditions for it to grow and blossom, flourish, thrive, bloom. Let these things come to fruition, but we've got to do the groundwork to prepare things so that they can come to pass. And a lot of us will talk about manifestation and stuff. And we'll be like, oh, well, I've been really working hard on trying to manifest things. I've been meditating, I've been doing mindfulness, I've been putting out the good energy and the good vibes and the intentions and laying all that out there, but nothing's happening. Hey, Selena, how you doing? You want a reading? Does your husband truly love me? Will he be working on changing? Are you wanting a single card pull for free, Selena, or are you wanting to get one of the paid readings, a mini reading? I do a 3-card pull off of Oracle, and then a full reading is a 7-card. I'm doing mini readings for $10 and full readings for $15 tonight. Here, I'll go ahead and drop that information into the chat. Single card for free? All right, give me just a moment and I'll get a card pulled up for you. We'll see how this card relates into the situation with you and your husband. Card that I pulled was commitment. This is the card that came up for you, Selena. So, according to this card, there's a commitment there. There's a connection. I really don't know the situation. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how things have transpired. But this card here, the two birds are tying the knot together. They're tying the love knot, the heart together. They're both working on different ends of the strand. I would say probably a big thing that I would focus on if I was you is I would focus in on just communication. Just try to communicate with him. And if he is doing work to change, don't nag him. Let him do the work. Don't try to force him at a certain pace or a certain speed. If he's putting in the effort, let him go at his own pace. Some people will move faster through things than others. Just be supportive if he is really working on trying to make changes. Be supportive, okay? Don't try to push things. Don't try to rush things. Just let them evolve. Because if you start to push things and he's doing this, he's going to break away from that. That's not going to work. People don't like that, especially when they're really looking hard at themselves and looking at things they need to change. They don't need people pointing out their inadequacies as they're trying to do that. They need people there showing them support, going, you've got this. I've got your back. Just do the work. Take the time. I see what you're doing. Give them praise. Give them support. Don't tear someone down when they're trying to work on themselves, especially if they're really trying to make the change, a big change for a better. You just got to, it's a real careful ground to be, because you can't allow the person to walk over you either. So you've got to be assertive. You've got to be strong. You've got to be firm. But you got to be loving and compassionate and caring. It's a really fine line to walk in there, Selena. So just be really careful. Be really cautious. Think about your words before you speak. And when he says something, if he says something hurtful to you, stop and take a moment and realize that might not necessarily be how he feels towards you. He might be lashing out because there's something going on that he's hurt and he's on the defensive, and he's not taking care of things the way he needs to, or he's got some unresolved traumas, which is probably most likely the truth behind the matter, that he hasn't dealt with, and something is triggering those traumas, and instead of dealing with them, he's lashing out. And usually when something like that happens, we lash out at the people closest to us. They're the ones right there, and it's usually the ones we love. And a lot of times it's not meant, it's just there needs to be some communication. I mean, that's really a feel I get. Just really need some communication. Just sit down and talk. Just be open. Tell him no judgment. You just want to talk and see how the two of you can work on things together. Don't place blame on either or, because to be honest, there's probably blame to be laid on both parties depending on what the situation is. Like I said, I don't know the situation. Could be totally one way or another. Whatever's going on that's causing this tension, whatever's going on. But a lot of times it's not always one person, unless, it's a really abusive person abusing, someone else. And then that, I don't condone that. Get out of there. Don't stay. Get rid of that. You don't deserve that. No one deserves that. But if it's a loving relationship that's just having some trouble and some strife and there's some distance growing because of something going on, then communication is really what's needed. I mean, you just really need to sit down and talk. And it's not so much about just listening to the other person, because it's easy to sit and listen to someone talk to you. A lot of people will say that's hard, but it's really easy to sit and listen to someone. It's really hard to comprehend what that person's really trying to get across. So when you're having the conversation, just tell them, say, hey, I might want to ask you some questions as we're going through this and you're talking to me, so I can make sure that I clearly understand where you're coming from. I don't want there to be any confusion here. And if you approach it in that manner, I don't know too many people who are going to be upset about hearing someone go, oh, you really want to hear what I have to say and make sure you understand what I have to say? Okay, wow, thank you. Yeah, I don't know too many people who'd be upset at hearing someone actually wants to hear what they have to say and make sure they understand it. Yeah, see, with the narcissist, that's a really dangerous situation. Narcissists can be really abusive, but it's a weird gray line, though, because a lot of people have narcissistic tendencies and behaviors. Doesn't mean that they're a full-blown narcissist. It's that they've got some of these things that they need to work on and deal with. And if left unchecked, they can grow into being a full-blown narcissist. Now, some people are just narcissists from trauma and abuse and stuff, and that's usually where all that grows out of. So I would definitely say there's probably some kind of traumatic experience in his past that has triggered off these narcissistic traits that he's acting out with. And until he deals with that and then deals with these traits, none of that stuff is going to resolve. But this has got to be stuff that he's willing to work on for him, not for anyone else, not for the relationship, not for you, not for, I don't know if you guys have kids, not for kids, not for anything else. He needs to do this for him. You guys can be part of it, but he's got to do this for himself. Otherwise, it won't last, it won't stick. Because it's a change that he has to make in himself, and he has to deal with every single day of his life. When you start working to heal from trauma, it's kind of in a way, almost being all right, I don't want to really get out of line by saying this because I've never been a recovering addict, but dealing with trauma from people who I know who are addicts that are in recovery, dealing with trauma is very similar because it's something you've got to deal with every single day of your life. It's something you've got to work with every day of your life. It's something you have to face every day of your life. It's not a, oh, well, I done that and I'm good for now, It's okay. It's good. I went to 6 therapy sessions and I'm cured. Like, I find traumas that I thought that I had resolved coming up in very, very subtle ways and influence my life in very subtle ways that I didn't even realize was even there until I had peeled back the previous layers. And then I was able to see I'm doing that because of this. That's a trauma response to that's a trauma response. I need to work on that. And that's doing your shadow work. And that's really what therapy is. I mean, when we get into it, therapy, shadow work. Carl Jung talked about it. He's actually who coined the phrase. And I mean, I think shadow work's probably one of the more valuable tools that's out there for people to use to better themselves and better their life and better the life of those around them. Because if they work on healing themselves, that helps them in their relationships with others around them, which helps everyone else because that just cascades out. So how's everybody doing? But yeah, Selena, I mean, if it's an abusive relationship, you've got to be careful. You can't stay in an abusive relationship. It's not good for you or anyone around you. Even if you love them, you still have to leave an abusive relationship. You got to love yourself more. But yeah, so would anyone else like a reading? Like a card? That was one card I pulled for. Imagine if I pulled 7 cards. Still be going. Honestly, I bet if I pulled 7 cards, all 7 cards would have said the same thing. They just would have stacked on each other, saying it in a different way. I find that happens a lot. And then, like, especially if I'm like doing tandem readings with another reader, like Tiffany, when me and Tiffany will do lives together like this, we'll split screen, and usually I'll have Tiffany go first and then I'll go. And almost always, because we're drawing cards at the same time and we're drawing from different decks, a lot of times she's using tarot, I'm using Oracle, and sometimes she'll use Oracle too. But we'll be pulling from different decks, and the cards that we are pulling will line up with each other. Like what she's pulling, I might, like, as she's talking about something, I might pull a card and it will line up exactly with what she was just saying. And that's always fun. I love it when the cards do that. Love it when the cards do that. It's always so much fun. Yeah, if anyone else would like a reading, please let me know. I am doing free single card pulls. I'm doing $10 mini readings and $15 full readings. I'm sorry, I end up just vibing out to the music. I'm also sharing around, posting to some of my friends and stuff who like watching lives, letting them know I'm on. Great. I should not have looked at Facebook while I was sharing stuff. Someone's talking about food, and now I'm hungry. I'm like, I want food. I've got stuff to fix after I get out of here. Actually, I have leftovers from breakfast this morning. Sausage, biscuits, and gravy, and I think there was some ham and bacon and sausage that was all like cooked on the side. I think the ham's going to Tanner though, because it was like warmed up again already for breakfast, but it was good. Tanner usually gets at least a piece of bacon. The world's most spoiled little dog. Probably not, but he is spoiled rotten. If any of you are interested in what I have going on with my sales right now, here is a link for those going up in the chat. If you click on that link or just go to facebook.com/Breaking Reality, the show, you can go over there and you can check out what I've got going on. This message should be pinned to the top of the board. Well, maybe. I got to swap accounts to do it. I'm not going to do it right now. I'll pin it to the top after the show. But there's stuff up there on it. There's a few changes under the sale, which I'll update on the one that's pinned up to the top. But I'm running some big deals on the spring sale. One of the big things I'm doing is like the sale. Like I was already running like a massive discount on year subscriptions on the reading services. And there's different tiers of the reading subscription services that go everything from just a daily card pull and one tarot oracle reading a week. You also get a new moon and a full moon reading in there with that. And I usually do that one for like $60 a month, or it's like, I forget how much for the year. I think it's like something like $600 for the year or something. And so I do like, that's the tier 1. And I also throw in a birthday reading and a wheel of the year reading, which just is a spread for the 12 months of the year. It's kind of an overall layout looking at the year in advance ahead, which can be interesting. And then also what I do with these is I have reading journals that I track everything from the day that we do it, the time that we do it, the cycle of the moon. I track people's moods. I track any significant things that's been going on, so that as we look back over the readings that we do over the course of the time, we can look back and we can see, a cycle and a pattern that's developed as we've worked with these things. So, and we can see, both positive and negative cycles and patterns as we track these things over a period of time, and then we can look back at them. And then we can start looking at those things and seeing how it's best to approach some of these things. It might be something that you need to consult with a doctor, or you might need to go consult with a counselor or something if there's something in there that we're starting to see that's popping up that's like, hey, this looks like you might need some assistance and some help with this. Why don't you go, check into these resources? But it could be positive things where we see like, hey, look, you've been doing really great. Like, you've been focused in on this area. Your growth in this area has went exponentially from this point to this point, and we're able to track this and give that information, something that you can look at and say, hey, look, I really did do that, and that's good, solid encouragement. Yeah, and I do that with all tiers of the subscription service, Denise. And I also offer to record um, both video and audio, or just audio. It's up to the person what they're comfortable with, what they want. I try to work to the client and what best suits them, what best fits them, because I'm there to provide the service for them. So if there's things that we need to change or shift or modify in it, I'm open to that. So I'll do the audio and video recording, and also I take pictures of the cards and I send to people. When I do the daily card pulls, a lot of times, like what I like to do with the daily card pull, I'll work with the person however they want to. Some people like the card and they like the interpretation and the meaning of the card, so they can think on that throughout the day. But what I like to do is I like to pull a card, and I'm just going to grab a random card out of one of my decks. So this is right next to me. So I grab this card, and it's trust. So if this was your daily card, I would send this to you and say, okay, here's your card. I want you to think on this card and how it applies to your life as you go throughout your day today. Just as your interactions throughout the day, as you're going to work, as you're taking care of family, as you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. You might be going on a vacation. You might be preparing to have a holiday with family tomorrow. Some people celebrate Easter, getting together, having family get together. My family's getting together, So if this was the card that I pulled for you, how does this apply to you? And then what I tell them is, as you go throughout the day, think about that. And when you get home at night, write down in a journal just a little a note about your card and how it applied to you throughout your day, how it applied to your life throughout that time. And whenever we get back together again, I like to ask people, hey, so let's go over your cards for, however many days. If we got together, every couple of days, or it's once a week, hey, let's go over your cards for the last week and see how things played out, how those things apply to your day, and how that was for you. I like that level of interaction. Yeah, like I'm honestly what I really want to do with this idea and this concept that I've developed is to be able to use this as a tool to help people just better themselves. And it's not like and here's the thing, it's not me that's necessarily like, I'm not like healing anybody. It's spirit, it's energy, it's everything. I'm a conduit. I'm here to deliver a message. I'm never going to claim to be like some messiah or some like mystical, magical healer. Anything that happens is how's the trust thing applying to me right now? Trust applying to me right now. A big part of it is I'm financially strapped right now. I'm just going to be honest. I've got some bills coming in. I have no idea where the money's coming from. But I have faith and I trust that it's going to come in, and it's going to come in the time frame that it needs to come in, and things are going to be taken care of. And meant to pulling that card. I just grabbed a random card. I wasn't even focused. Like, I was just talking about like how a daily card pull would go, and just grabbed a random card off of the deck. It just happened to be Trust, which was the card on the deck. Like, as far for me, like, this card applies to, like, I gotta trust that tomorrow going into this family situation, everything's going to be cool and chill, because there's been some serious drama going down in the family. You burnt your house? Oh no. That sucks. Hey Danielle, how you doing? Hope things are getting a little better. You doing anything tomorrow for Easter? Doing anything with the little one? How bad did you burn your house? Like a little burnt, or like it's gone? You fixed it? Okay, well, I'm glad you fixed it. That's good. I'm glad you was able to fix it. No, but like with single card pulls, when I send those to the person, like I said, I do it either way. I will either send them the breakdown and the interpretation of the card and the meanings of it, and applications. But what I really like to do is just leave it up to that person to see how that card applies to themselves throughout the day, because this is also a form of mindfulness. It's getting them to think about how this card, which is a focus point for them, makes them, like how this card applies throughout their life, and every little aspect of what they're doing, as they're going throughout the day. This is they're thinking about this. They're developing thoughts, they're developing ideas, they're looking at things from a different view and a different perception. It's the whole point of breaking reality. Breaking reality's whole goal is to challenge people's perceptions of the world around them and get them to look at things differently than what they normally do. Hey, you don't have to be like romantic with someone to own a house with someone and stuff and like kick it. Like, I know a lot of people who have lived together, cohabitated together, and not been romantic at all. Pull another card. You want me to pull a card for you, Denise? I'll pull a card for you. This card will be for you. How do I do a reading? Danielle, when I do my readings, like if you get a mini reading, what I'll do is, if you want a focused reading, where you want to ask a question and I'll focus in on that. And as we're working on preparing, pulling cards and stuff, I'll focus in on that. Or the other way that I do readings is, a lot of times people just want a general reading. They just kind of want a generalized overview of things. And so what I'll do is I'll just kind of focus in on that person, their energy. I'll pull the cards for them, and then I go through, I'll show them the cards first, so they see all the cards. So if it's 3 card mini pool, you get 3 cards. If you do a full pool, it's 7 cards. And then I go through the interpretation of the cards and how they all go together into the reading. Card that came up for you, Denise, is Transformation. Um, it's obvious from the stuff that you've been talking about. You're in a transformational period right now where you're going through this, getting this home with a friend. You're building a new life. You're developing into a new stage of your life, like how the butterfly goes from being, the caterpillar, and it goes into its cocoon, and then when it emerges, it comes out as the butterfly. We go through stages of life. It's been a year. Yeah, but even then, I mean, you're still developing. Like, I've lived here in this place. I got this place, let's see, this year will be 4 years. In October will be 4 years that I moved in here. And I am still undergoing transformations in this place, how this place is set up, and developing it into my home. Nah, the butterfly represents transformation. That it's a transformational period, and embrace it, because not all transformations are bad. They come out, a lot of times transformations come out very beautiful. People want to judge it, but sometimes the process might be difficult, but usually what comes out as the result at the end is usually beautiful and glorious. You have any more questions? Do you have any questions on the reading, Danielle? And also, if you don't want a reading live, I do private readings. I just do them through a video call on Facebook, one-on-one. Same setup, just like this, except for I'm just talking to you, and it's not everyone in the group like this on the page. Anybody have any more questions? Doing free one-card pools, mini readings for $10, full pools for $15. Yeah, just let me know, Danielle. You've got me on Facebook. You can message me and let me know. Like, anytime. Like, you don't have to wait for me to do a live or anything. Like, if you get the money together and you want to get a reading, just message me and let me know, and I got you. I'm enjoying this music. I do not know why, but this music. Yeah, you can definitely get a one-card pool. I do free one-card pools for anyone that comes in. Yeah, if someone wants a card, I'll pull a card for them. Let's see what your card is. Your card is confidence, Danielle. You need to be more confident. Step out with confidence. Be more confident in who you are, in what you are doing, in the choices you are making, in the decisions you are making. Be more confident in that choice. You just made a big choice. You just made a big decision. And I know some people there weren't necessarily stoked about it in and around the family, if I remember right. Be confident you made the right choice. Be confident you made the right call. You're on the right path. And you need to have more confidence in yourself. Now, the big thing with confidence is not to mistake confidence for arrogance. Confidence and arrogance are really, really close. The big difference is confidence comes with being humble, knowing that you know, but not being egotistical about it. When you become egotistical, you become arrogant. And so that line between confidence and arrogance is a really, really fine line. And it really just rides on the way that you present it. Confidence is a very strong, very powerful, very attractive thing for someone to possess. If you see someone that's really strong and really confident, they usually get people's attention. They're also not people that get bullied or pushed around. So step up with some confidence. Let me know how that card plays out for you. Sometimes they don't always pan out right here and now, not in this exact moment. Also, I think there's a delay with StreamYard. I got to figure out what the delay lag is. Danielle's a sweetheart. Hey, just remember when you show up at the family get together tomorrow, just walk in all confident. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your family. Be proud of what you have built. Be proud of what you are building. Be confident that you're making the right choices, the right decisions. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll be easy. And that's really the hard part, is maintaining that confidence when things get difficult. Oh, I don't think Danielle needs to fake it till she makes it. She just needs to dig down, grab a hold of it, and pull it out. She's got that confidence. Sometimes it's just buried a little bit, I think. She just got to dig it out. Stop letting it get buried under other people's crap, opinions, thoughts, views, what they think you should be doing, how they think you should be living your life. That's where you lose your confidence. It gets buried under all that crap. And until you start getting rid of that, you're going to have trouble with that confidence. But once you get rid of that, that confidence will show up. One of the greatest days for me was the day that I finally decided that I was no longer going to let what other people thought about me affect how I felt about myself. That's their thoughts. That's their opinion. That's on them. I have no control over that. How they see me, how they perceive me, that is on them. I have no power over that. So I'm not going to allow that to rattle my cage or to harsh my vibe. And that helped me gain a lot of confidence. So I hope everybody has some fun plans for the weekend. I've had a good weekend so far. Looking forward to tomorrow. The next card has to wait for the next person to come get it. Besides doing tarot and oracle, I also do Lenormand readings and I do rune readings, and those are also all tied in with the higher tiers of the reading subscription service. Tier 3 and 4 includes all of those modalities interchanged and working together. So, like, we'll start off the month with a Lenormand Grand Tableau, which is 36 cards that we lay out. We can kind of look at that as a roadmap for the month and look and see where things are pointing through that. And then from there, we break it down and we can focus on more specific areas and focus in on them using the tarot, the oracle, and the runes. And we can also pull Lenormand back in and do smaller spread readings on those specific areas too. But Lenormand is one of those things that takes some time. Lenormand is a very, very it takes time to interpret because the spreads can get really big and really difficult and really really complex at times because you don't read just across in columns or down in rows. You read columns, rows, diagonals, all the cards that, you know, are in any way associated on the board can, you know, like you'll read corners. I know some readers who look at the different corners and focus on different corners. You're cooking carrots and finishing up the vegetables. Sounds like a yummy dinner. Thanks, Shay. There's a better look at it. I need to move it up a little bit, but I know how to do it. I just got to do it. But Suzanne sent that to me. Suzanne got that and sent to me. And then the one that was hanging behind me on the wall in the other office is actually behind the desk. If you remember that one. I don't know if you remember that one or not when you was here. It's the black and blue Celtic knots. It's the one that was up behind me all the time in all the other videos I was doing before. But yeah, I like it. I need to get the wrinkles out of it, but it's like, you gotta be really careful with it. It's like that polyester material, and you gotta be careful or you'll melt it. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm thinking I'm gonna do a couple changes in the room. Like the tapestry that was over here above the little altar that I have. I think I'm gonna actually move it and put it out in the hallway right there. So it covers the wall out there and just for some decoration out there. And then I have a friend who's sending me some prints. And then I'm going to be getting some other things that I want to hang up on that wall over there. And also, I think I'm going to maybe look at a different table for the altar. Try to find like something like a buffet table. Set in there. And I might even look at something that's like a small, like really thin buffet table or something like that to put behind me along this wall behind me. Just to have like an altar back there too. Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to have an altar that's set up for the office as the office altar. Then I'd like to have another one that I can like set up different things, show people how to set up altars differently for different seasons, for different festivals, for different. Oh, the little sofa tables are too small, like the little table trays. I've got one that my laptop's on back behind me. That's too small for the altars that I work with. I need space. Like my altar out in the front room is literally an old writing desk, an antique writing desk my mom gave me. And I decided to turn it into my altar because I thought the top of it looked amazing. And it's like really, really old antique writing desk, and there's like a few little chips and stuff in the top. I didn't want to fill it in or anything, so I wanted to keep that, that history of this desk that had been through some stuff and been through things. My family had it for years and years and years, and then mom sold it to a friend, and then the friend gave it back to mom, and mom gifted it over to me. And I decided to start using it for my altar, and I love it. It's got 3 drawers on it. I keep my candles, my incense, my sage, all sorts of stuff like that. My lighters, my matches, all that stuff. Keep all that stuff inside the drawers of the altar and stuff, and it's just amazing. And then the top of it's my altar, and I just like finding little things like that, repurposing. But like, I'd like to find like maybe a nice buffet table. Like my mom's got one. She had it's in the dining room at Dad's now. A mail desk? Maybe. Oh no, that desk was not a mail desk. This was an antique writing desk. This was for someone, like it was literally for writing letters. Like the drawers were for keeping pens and quills and ink and letter and paper in, and you would just pull it out. You would write your letter, put it in your envelope, stamp it, seal it up, and go. It's real simple, real basic. Hello, Nitu. Hopefully I said that right. Sure, ask away. Please let me know if I pronounced your name correctly. No, it does not fold down like a hutch. It doesn't have a top on it. It's just flat. It's just 3 drawers, legs, and the top of the desk. Let me see. I might have a picture of it in my. I am surprised. I do not have a picture of my altar up on my Breaking Reality page. I will post a picture of my Breaking Reality page. I'll post a picture of it here in a little bit. Will I be able to marry with the one I want to marry me, Isha? Man, I will tell you, I will be honest. I absolutely hate these questions like this. And I will tell you why. It's not that you asked. I have no problem with that. I have no problems with people asking these kind of questions. The reason I hate these questions is because there's another person involved who I don't consensually have permission to work with them and check them out energetically to see what they're doing. And so I really don't like answering those kind of questions. Like, the best I can do for you, man, is a single card pool. See what that card pops and just go from there. But like I said, without being able to read Isha's energy and without their permission to do that, I don't feel right. Like, that's just kind of a weird energetic form. I don't like doing that. I don't mess with people energetically without permission. But the card that did come out is passion. Now, I think this is more your passion and your desire and your fire and your flame. But there could be some passion on her side too. I don't know the situation. But I'm not able to really tap into her, and I won't. It's a respect thing on my end. Unless she gives me permission, I won't tap into her energetically to try to get a reading or try to pull or try to focus in on her to do something as far as pulling a card to see what, applies to that. It's just a level of respect and just common decency that I would hope anyone would give anyone else, especially people that work in this community. But once again, that card was passion. It's a very fiery card, very emotional driven. But be careful not to let your passion consume you too. Because that's having your passion consume you and become all consuming is just as bad as not having any passion at all. You've got to have a balance. You've got to keep it in check. You can't allow this to just overtake you. So make sure you keep your passion in check, but you've definitely there's definitely a fiery passion there. But like I said, without her permission, I really can't tap into her. There might be some passion there with her too. That might be what this card's indicating. But like I said, I can't really tap into that. I don't feel right doing that. It's a respect thing. I won't do that. I'm very, very particular about trying to be as ethical as possible as a practitioner and respect people's boundaries. And I don't want to mess with someone on that energetic level and on that energetic plane that hasn't openly invited me to and engaged in with me in that aspect. Tammy, my initial response was dinner with me sometime in the next week or two. That was the initial thought that popped through my head when I read that. Do you want a single card pull, Tammy, or do you want to do a reading tonight? Do you want a mini reading or a full reading? Or do you want to do a single card pull? Hey, I mean, we've been talking, we've been chatting, I've been enjoying your company. I think this next week is going to be pretty crazy, but the following week should be a little calmer, hopefully. Tammy, the card that popped up for you. And here I am. It's so funny. Here I am talking about being all ethical and stuff. And then someone pops in and I'm like, oh, yeah, we're going to go to dinner. That's what I see in the future. Just so you know, me and Tammy have been talking and we met through Facebook dating. And we've been talking and stuff. So that's why that was a funny joke to me, because probably was going to talk about getting together and meeting soon anyways. Yeah, we'll definitely get something worked out. Get together and hang out. I love to cook. So your card is clarity. You've got clarity coming in on a situation or something that's going on currently. Just spend some time focusing and meditation, mindfulness techniques, just kind of allowing yourself to be open enough to see that clarity that's coming through and realize that the things that, you're starting to see are going to come into focus. Kind of like this card when I get it in the camera right, without all the glare. Come on, card, work with me. Come on, camera, work with me. I move the position of my camera, and this is what it does to me. But yeah, clarity, you're definitely going to have clarity coming in on something. There's a situation going on or something going on in and around you, and that is going to start to clear up here. Yeah, we'll have to talk. I'll find out what you like for dinner. I like to cook. I'll have to see what I can make. Make a killer chicken curry if you like curry. Chicken curry over rice with veggies. Oh, it's amazing. And I'm really hungry right now. Sitting here talking about food, and I'll end up cutting the live short because it's like I'm gonna need to go eat. No, I'm gonna wait for a little bit. Yeah, I like to cook. It's something I really enjoy doing. And I like cooking for other people. Like, I am more apt to cook like a really killer meal when I'm fixing something for someone else versus just fixing something for me because it's just me here. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Sometimes I'll fix something really nice and get all fancy and everything just for myself. Because I'm craving that and that's what I want. So I'm going to fix it and I'm going to do it right. But a lot of times I am more apt to fix something for someone else, like go all out. But you got any questions on that card I pulled for you, Tammy? Or, dinner? We'll have to take a picture when we get together for dinner and like prove that, that actually was in your future. And you can leave a review about the food. My phone is going nuts right now. Oh, I have no idea. Yes to dinner, no to card. Message me and we will set up a date. No to the card. The card didn't help you out. It didn't bring you. The card didn't vibe with you. But yes to dinner. So I got a yes. Excellent. Yeah, I'll get a hold of you after I get done with the live. Hold on, this is Tiffany messaging me. I'm going to let her know I'm live right now. Shoot, I may end up getting off here and going and fixing food. Hey, She, how are you? You'd like an oracle? Do you want a single card pool, She, or do you want to do a mini or a full reading? mini. Okay, a mini reading. I'm doing those for $10. Um, Hi Gray, how you doing? Here, let me post this. This will give you the information on the readings. Oh, nope, that doesn't give you the information on the readings. Sorry. That was a link from earlier I was sharing about my reading subscription service. Give me just a second. I'll get you the information on for the readings tonight. All right, here you go. Oh, awesome. Gray's your friend. I'll pull a card for Gray as well. Let me see what she is wanting. You wanted a 10 card or one of the mini readings, so you want 3 cards. You want a card pull to see before you pay? Yeah, I'll do a card pull before you pay. That's no problem. And you just want kind of a general pull, right, She? I gotta move my phone. Tiffany is distracting me right now. I'm trying to focus. I love this card. This card's a beautiful card. The card that came up for you is Inspiration. Inspiration. So look for inspiration. You're either looking for inspiration or you are someone's inspiration for something. Is that what's going on? You're someone's inspiration? But no, I got a vibe that you're looking for inspiration. You're looking for something to ignite a spark that just triggers you onto that next step, that ignites that fire that you're looking for, whatever that flame. Like, I mean, if you look, it's that internal thing that just kind of sparks inside and gets you going. It's not that you don't have that. It's that you're looking for something that's going to inspire that going to the next level, whether that's in your job, your spiritual walk, your family life, hobbies, whatever. You're looking for that inspiration that's going to ignite that fire, ignite that passion, and take things to that next level. And then Gray, you said you wanted a card pull as well. This card came flying out of the deck right as you said, please. And the card is Prosperity. I mean, a lot of times we hear prosperity, we think money, we think finances, we think income. That could be the thing. A lot of times, though, prosperity comes in other ways. A lot of times prosperity comes in the form of connections, of friendships, of relationships, of energetic connections, of energetic gifts, of things that are coming that aren't always necessarily of a materialistic value. It's not something tangible, you know. It's not something that you can hold and say this lighter is worth $2.50, you know. Prosperity is not always about that. Prosperity is about being open to receiving and allowing things to flow, to allow this prosperity. Oh, you can have prosperity and a peace of mind. And it's really just a matter of opening yourself up to Opening yourself up to being able to realize that you're prosperous, that you've got these abundance, that you've got these things already. Sometimes people don't, and they get locked into a mindset. Like if you're struggling with that peace of mind, you're like, I don't have peace of mind. I'm never going to have peace of mind. Why can't I just have peace of mind? And that's what you're telling yourself all the time. You're never going to have peace of mind. Your mind's being trained to not have peace. Because when you say, I don't have peace of mind, your mind's going, oh, that's what they want. It doesn't know the difference. Your body doesn't know the difference. Your body's like, oh, they said no peace of mind. Okay, check. Got that one. So the way to gain that is to change that around and start saying, I have an abundance of peace. My mind is calm. I am at ease. Work on meditation, work on affirmations, work on mindfulness, work on breathing. Big, big, big thing right there. Control your breathing, and that will help you control everything else in your body, including your mind. When I studied martial arts, when we started talking about meditation, the first thing that they taught us was breathing techniques. To learn how to breathe, how to control the breathing, how to use the breathing to focus, and how to use it to bring that peace about. One of the big secrets in martial arts that when you really get deep into a lot of it, what they're really trying to teach you is to remain in a peaceful mindset, even in the midst of one of the most chaotic situations you could imagine yourself being in. And then when you can do that, it allows you to function and work and flow and adapt through whatever's coming towards you. When you're able to keep your mind calm and keep it clear and keep it focused through those techniques of mindfulness, of meditation, of controlling your breathing, of bringing everything into balance and everything into alignment. And it takes time. It's nothing that you do right away. This is work. And that's what a lot of people don't realize is like really doing these things takes work. A lot of people want an easy fix. They want me to pull a card and say, oh, dance around in a circle 3 times, say this incantation and, burn some sage and, throw a pinch of cinnamon over your left shoulder. It doesn't work that way. It could. It can. Right intentions put out there, anything can work. But a lot of the times you have to really just work on taking the steps to bring about those things that you want. So if you're wanting peace of mind, hey, I'm not going to say one thing if people want to dance naked in a circle during a ritual. Rituals have their place. They're very important. Naked dancing is acceptable in this household. We can't do it on camera right now because we're live. But, we can push back the tables and stuff in the front room. Dance naked in the kitchen. There's plenty of room. Do some kitchen witchy stuff. But no, I mean, it's really a lot of it is these are meant to be used as tools to help us, help direct us in the path that we need to go, to do the work that we need to do to help better ourselves and better our lives. And do you have any questions? Anyone have any questions? Did you like the single card that you got pulled? I however you want to dance, you can dance. I start trying to do like some river dancing, and there's probably going to be an emergency room visit involved. That's all I got to say. When I done martial arts, that was over 25 years ago. Time, age, health issues. Not as agile and as spry as I used to. Working on trying to get back there. Trying to recapture some of that. Funny enough, I'm sitting here playing with my cards, and right as I say, I'm trying to recapture some of that, trying to get that back. The well-being card pops up out of the deck. Coincidence? Like, I did not pull that on purpose. I was sitting here just shuffling mindlessly. Like, a lot of times during lives, I sit here with cards and I just shuffle mindlessly while I wait for someone to ask. And then I focus in and start focusing in on it. You want to know my age? I'm 45. I have no problem telling people my age. I'm 45 years old. I'm proud of it. A dance of the Druids. Druids dance all different ways. Pretty sure no two Druids dance alike. So anybody else got any questions? Anybody want a reading? Yeah, I look really young for my age. There are a few whites and grays coming into the beard. You can see. Take the bandana off, though. I'm almost totally, completely bald. So, and I started losing my hair when I was 21. So, but I almost always wear bandanas and hats, and it's just something I've done since I was 16. I've always wore bandanas and hats. No, like a lot of times if I'm just here around the house by myself and stuff, sometimes I wear one, sometimes I don't. Just depends on how I feel. But yeah, if someone would like to ask any more questions, anyone want a reading, Tiffany was sending me some really good ideas. I think I'm going to have to read through and look at and message her here in a bit and talk about. One of them involved using my runes. Which I do rune castings as well. Here are some of my runes. I'm just going to show them off just because they're pretty. They're red jasper agate. There, focused in on it. They're just beautiful runes. I've had these since I was 20. Worked with them for a long time. I'm going to do a rune casting. Rune castings I don't do on live. Rune castings I do in private because they take a little more time to do. Because depending on how big of a casting and how everything falls, you read and interpret runes differently and how they fall. So it usually takes a little more on doing runes. But yeah, if you want to do a rune casting, if you want a reading on runes, we can do that. But Tiffany was talking about like doing daily rune pools and stuff and things like that. So I might start doing that. I like messing with my runes. I had them for a long time. Longer than any of my other decks. These are one tool that I've managed to hold on to through all these years. Even at a certain point in time, I handed them over to my oldest sister. She returned them back to me. They're not more vague. Runes can be vague, or they can be very like in your face. Like honestly, a single card reading's really vague. Single card readings are always pretty vague. Because you only have one card that you're pulling for most things, and usually a standard spread's like 7 cards that you're using to break down and interpret. When I do runes, like my one spread I do is a 9 rune spread, and so I pull 9 runes out and I cast into the box that I use for casting, so my runes don't go flying everywhere. Because I actually will cast the runes, not just pull them out and lay them down. I throw and cast. That's how they're supposed to be done, because depending on how they fall, either face up, face down, and what order they fall in is how you read them. So the interpretations of them, I mean, it's sometimes they're vague, sometimes they're more precise. I've had some rune readings that got really in depth. I've had some rune readings that is just like, okay, all right, not really sure what's up, but all right, whatever. And usually what I end up finding out on those ones where I'm feeling like that whatever vibe, like, man, this just doesn't, it's weird. They don't seem to be sitting right. They don't seem to be really connecting. One thing that I almost always find is I dig deeper and I ask a few questions, and I'm like, okay, well, how does this rune apply to you? And I'll tell them the interpretation of the rune, and I'll start trying to pull out of them, how does this rune apply? Because something going on here that I can't tell. The runes aren't showing it. Obviously, it's something because this applies to you in some way, shape, or form, and almost always the story starts to unfold. We see what's going on. We see how the runes start to apply to the situation. We start to see how things go. Usually it's something that someone didn't want to, like, they were wanting answers on, but yet they didn't want answers on. It's something they wanted to deal with, but yet they didn't want to deal with. And so it was that kind of wishy-washiness. Yeah, don't pay attention to that happiness, joy. Those are people that come in here spamming. We block these people. We give them the Haya and the Hawas. And they are gone. But like runes have different, like all the cards have their different modalities and different times and reasons and purposes, and like certain things fit better for a situation versus others. So runes might be the key to go to, or it might be Lenormand, or it might be Oracle, or it may be Tarot, or might need a pendulum. Which I need to get a pendulum again. I miss my pendulum. You sent 15 for a reading, so you want a full Oracle reading? I've got you. There it comes through. Thank you so much. So you go by Elizabeth or Liz. I've been calling you Greg because that's what I saw first, but then I saw this come through. Now, for my full readings, I like to use... You go by Liz? Okay, cool. Hi, Liz. For my full readings, I like to use this deck. This is one of my favorite decks. This is my Sacred Rebel Oracle deck. For my single card pools, I love to use this deck, which is my spellcasting Oracle deck. That is the one I was doing the single card pools from earlier. But this deck right here, I absolutely love this deck for full pool, full readings. This deck is a beautiful deck. You just won the generalized reading, Liz? Or do you want something kind of a little more specific? Just generalized? Okay. So I'll shuffle up the cards nice and good here. And I like to shuffle the cards until, one sticks out or pops out. I don't like just go in and just like, all right, I'm going to pull the first 7 cards off the top of the deck. Nice cards so far. And I'll show you all the cards here once I get them all pulled. What I do is I'll pull all 7 cards, lay them out in the order that I pull them. I'll show you all the cards, and then after I show you the cards, I'll start the interpretation. And once I start the interpretation, I just go down through them from there. Once I start the reading. And one thing I do is if I get towards the end of the pulling the cards, if a couple of cards pop out at once and it goes over what the this is really interesting. Okay. All right. Hi, Shane. Doing good. How are you doing tonight? Your first card, Liz, is Listening for Truth. Your second card is Bring It Into Form. Your third card is Big Bold Vision. Your fourth card is focus on the light. Your fifth card is seeing the true you. Actually, hold on a second. Let me do this. This might help with the lighting on the cards. Inner trust. And then visions of life beyond death. That most definitely helps. So, Liz, your first card is listening for truth. A lot of times we listen to people and we seek out the truth, but sometimes it gets hard to really decipher the truth and what's out there. And those that really seek and listen will eventually find. Sometimes you got to go through a bunch of crap before you get there. But those who really, really seek to hear the truth, to listen for the truth, will find it. But it's also a matter of we go back into that whole where we was talking about that peace of mind, calming that mind so that you can hear that truth when it speaks through. Because if you have all that chatter and all that confusion and all that chaos going on without that peace of mind, it's really going to make it really hard to hear that truth when it comes in, because it's just going to be hidden and muddled with all the other stuff going on. But when you're really able to focus and listen in and focus in on those truths, and these could be truths such as, deep spiritual truths, or these can be truths like, hey, you're a good person. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of respect. You're worthy of being treated with decency. These are truths. These are things that, sometimes we need to listen to that we're not always listening to. It's not always these, listen for the truth. And it's got to be some big, grand, like esoteric keys, secrets of the universe thing that's unlocked from some ancient tome. And, it doesn't need to be that truth that you're seeking. Sometimes the truth is just simply, you are worthy. You are enough. You are loved. Sometimes that's the truth that you need to seek to listen to hear. And then as you hear that next card is bring it into form. So when you hear these truths, and as they're coming into your mind, you need to take the steps to start to move forward to bring these into form. So if it's a big secret that or a truth on something that you're seeking out that's really big, that's really out there that you really need to address, and this card really goes in conjunction with the next card too, so let me bring it up and I can talk about both of these cards together. The next card is Big Bold Vision. So bring it into form and Big Bold Vision really play in on each other, because the vision is, when you start talking about bringing it into form and you start taking the steps, you start taking the action, you start moving forward. So like when you hear those truths, like you are worthy enough, and you start walking and moving forward as if you are worthy, those big, bold visions that you have are going to start to come to pass. Because as you start to walk in that confidence, as you start to walk with that belief of these things are true, and I am stepping forward and walking forward in this truth, then the visions that you have set out in front of you, those goals you have laid out in front of you, are going to start to come to pass easier. You're going to start to see these things lay out. They're going to start to unfold in front of you. And the key thing to do is to maintain focus in on the light, which is something that can sometimes be hard to do because we get a lot of negativity coming at us in this world. We have more people telling us that we will never succeed at what we are trying to do, that we will never accomplish our goals, that we will never do what that we set out to do. Then we have people cheerleading us and telling us, hey, you've got this, you're going to do this. I know you might be going through a hard time right now. It might be a struggle. Things might not be going the way you planned. but stay focused, keep looking towards that light, keep looking towards that goal, keep moving towards it. Even if you got knocked back 10 steps, get back up and start going. Stay focused on that light. Keep moving forward with that vision. And let people see the true you. You know, it's really, and part of this is you seeing the true you as well. And this goes all the way back to that listening for the truths, where I started talking about, that being worthy of being adequate, of being enough, of having love, of being worthy of love, being able to accept things. We're a lot of times our own worst critics. And we will talk to ourselves about how bad we are and how negative we are and how horrible we are, and put ourselves down and not see the true beauty of who we really are. And when we start to live at that aspect in and of ourselves, that's what we present to others. And it gets to be really hard for others to see the true us when we're hiding that, because we're not even accepting it for ourselves. Which that brings about the inner trust. So as you're starting to see the true you, as you're moving forward and you're listening to the truths, as you're going through and you're bringing things into form, as you've got that big, bold vision coming to pass, you're maintaining that focus on the light, and you're starting to see the true you, and others are starting to see the true you. You've got to start relying on that inner trust and really believing in your decisions, on who you are, on your path, on the goals that you have set out for you, on the things that you're working on. And as you continue on those things, the last card is always this is a really interesting card, because it talks about visions of life beyond death. And this card can take on several different meanings. But this card a big thing in this card, and the way this card really feels like it fits in here, is that there is life after the end of something. Like there's a chapter of something coming to close. There's a vision of something. You have a vision of something that you want after that comes to pass, or something has come to pass and you're still in the process of building that vision. I don't know which way it's going, but it's along those lines of either there's a chapter about to close and you have a vision of how things should be perceived after this ending, and then, or something has just closed and you're in the process of that vision, of putting that vision out there and seeing how things are going to fold out after this whatever it's been that's been this closing, this ordeal. Do you have any questions, Liz? And hi, Shane. I saw you, and I will get to a reading for you here in just a moment. It makes sense. If you have any questions, Liz, and you like, if you're thinking about this, if you're thinking about this and you really have some questions that come up later, feel free to reach out to me. You're being baptized next week? Oh, awesome. Congratulations. So that is a big change. It is a big transformation. That is looking at things from a total, complete different point of view. You know, that you've got some big transformations. There you go. So embrace those dreams, embrace those visions, listen for those truths. Okay, let's run back down through them again. So with that, you're listening to those truths, okay? Seek those truths. Seek those hard spiritual truths, okay? Don't just listen to what someone says, but research, search, really search hard for those deep truths, okay? And then as that goes forward and you find those truths, start to bring those into form. Walk that walk. Don't just talk it, walk the walk. As you're doing that, you have big, bold visions. And as you're walking that walk, those big, bold visions will start to come to pass. You got to remain focused in on that light. Negativity is all around us. And the biggest thing that will pull you away from your dreams and visions is being deterred by negative talk, by people telling you that you aren't good enough, that you won't succeed, that you'll fail. And you've got to not focus on that. Every time someone says something to you, take that and use it as a fuel for the fire. Just throw it in there, let it burn up, and just keep on going. And as you continue to do that, people are going to see that you're you. People are going to really see you. But you're going to start to see you too. You're going to find yourself in all of this. And like I said, as you do that, that inner trust is going to develop. It's going to come to pass. And then those dreams that you have, they're gonna survive past this transformation. They're gonna survive past this death. They're gonna continue on. So yeah. Like I said, if you have any questions, Liz, feel free to reach out to me. You can do so through the Breaking Reality page, or Tammy's got my personal Facebook information. You can hit me up there too. Like if you have any questions at all, feel free to hit me up. That's one thing I always lay out there and offer out to anyone. Shane, you said you wanted a reading. Did you want to get a free 1-card pull? Did you want a mini reading? Did you want a full reading? What would you like? Let me know. You want a 3-card? Okay. Let me know how you're going to pay that over. I do the 3 cards I'm doing for 10 tonight. Here's the information on those. If you want a free card, if you want a free pool, I do a free 1-card pool, man. I'll hit you up with a free 1-card pool. No big deal. I know times are tough. I know money's tight. No problem, man. I got you. Let me grab my spellcasting deck here. Hey, you have to run, Liz. Home message you. Okay, yes, I definitely will, Tammy. I'm probably going to go maybe another 15, 20 minutes, maybe max, unless I get a bunch of people coming in wanting readings. And then I can message you after that while I'm fixing dinner. Hey, man, I got you, Shane. I understand it, man. Especially, trust me, if I hit up the spiritual shop today, I'd be broke too. Did you pick up anything cool at the spiritual shop today, Shane? All right, Shane, your card came up in your 1-card pool. Excuse me, is forgiveness. All right, forgiveness. This is a big thing. This is a deep topic. This is a deep, deep topic. That's why I like these cards. These cards, one word can get deep. New Dreams of Gaia tarot deck. Oh, awesome. Nice. You have to let me know how you like it. Forgiveness. Like I said, this is a deep subject. This is a deep card right here. And forgiveness is a really, really big, deep thing, and it can go a lot of different ways. I mean, this card could be calling for you to forgive someone else, but it could also be calling for you to forgive yourself for something. One thing that you need to always realize, no matter what, whether you're forgiving yourself or you're forgiving someone else of something, you are actually helping yourself energetically by letting that go, saying, I realize what the situation was, and I realized what happened, and I forgive you for what happened in this situation. Doesn't mean that you're justifying that was okay, or that behavior was all right. Forgiveness has nothing to do with that. It doesn't. When you forgive someone, saying, hey, you've done something wrong to me, or you harmed me, or you hurt my feelings, you did something, or you done something wrong, and you've been carrying that guilt, and you've been holding yourself guilty over that, or you don't like something about you, and you've been holding that against yourself. You know that forgiveness, being able to forgive not only yourself but for others, helps release all of those energetic contracts that you're tied into there. And that forgiveness helps free you as well as that other person if someone else is involved. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean you're condoning a behavior, especially if it was someone that was abusive. But you can say, hey, you know what? I know you've done some really horrible things to me. I forgive you. I'm moving on. I hope you can find it in yourself to deal with the things that you need to and move on and move forward through there. Oh, very well could be. Like a bad reading, as in they didn't like the reading, or is the reading went negative? Like it didn't give them the information they wanted. Because, like, sorry, sometimes we don't get to be, deliverers of joy and happiness and, good tidings and everything. Sometimes when you really want to step into getting these readings, you got to be prepared. They might tell you things that you don't necessarily want to hear. I had a reading the other day, called me out and told me to stop being an idiot, basically. Like, literally. Readings like, stop being stupid, get off your butt, and do what you need to. Obviously, I was working with tarot. Yeah. And especially if they made personal attacks and stuff, if there was some of those things that got in there and it got into like some tension and stuff. Yeah, just forgive the person, forgive yourself over the situation if there's anything you're holding against you in that situation. But forgive this other person and let it go. Don't tie yourself to that person energetically and wrap yourself up, because it's one of those things that when you're holding this grudge with someone, and God, I'm saying this, and I am the most guilty person of this. Like, I am one of those carry a grudge to the grave type people. Like, I'm a Leo, if that tells you anything. But it's one of those things when you let go and you forgive and you really work on that forgiveness. And God, this is a lesson for me too. It really sets you free from being tied to them and all the crap that's they're bringing with them. And if you stay tied to them, you stay wrapped up in all that negativity, you stay wrapped up in all that crap that came about from that incident and whatever's happened before and after that. And so unless you do something to clear that and to break that, you're going to stay tied up into that. And the key to that is forgiveness. So here I am doing a reading for someone else and preaching to myself the whole time, which is how I find out it goes a lot of the times. So often how it goes. But hey, one thing I do want to throw out there is if any of you got a reading from me tonight, even if it was a single card pull and you enjoyed it, please go over to my page, facebook.com/Breaking Reality, the show, and you can leave a review over there. Let me know what you thought. Let me know. I enjoy doing this. I do this this is something I really love doing. You're a Cancer. I have so many friends in my life who are Cancers. It's like I think every Leo needs like at least 10 Cancers around them to keep them from doing crazy shit. It's like Cancers balance out the Leo. Leo starts to do something. Cancer's like, no, come back over here. Calm it down, rein it in. You're Virgo. Nice. You got dinner done? Well, enjoy your dinner. I actually think I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to go fix me some dinner. It's late. I think I'm going to get something to eat. And Tammy, I'm going to hit Tammy up. She told me to hit her up so we can make plans later. And she may want a reading as well, so we'll see. You're a Capricorn? Nice. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Everyone who got a reading tonight, thank you so much. Like I said, anybody who has any questions, feel free to hit me up on facebook.com/Breaking Reality, the show. You can message me over there. And if I'll be back here tomorrow night at 9. I'm going to be doing these regular basis. I'm going to be doing daily lives, whether it's going to be a big full live like this, or it might be like a little 15-30 minute ordeal. But I'm going to be doing some form of daily live every day going forward here. Also going to be doing, starting on Monday, I'm going to be doing some giveaways and stuff and starting some, freebie things that I'm going to do. So pay attention, pop into the lives and interact, and you might end up getting some free readings. So take care, everybody. Have a good night, and I will see you all later.